Holy shit. I mean, wow. I honestly, 12 hours ago, I would not have been able to do this recording almost 12 hours ago. Because, and I mean, this is not hyperbole at all. I was literally left speechless at the end of last night's Breaking Bad episode. And I honestly could not form coherent, intelligent thoughts about this episode because it was just indescribable. Wow. And now that I've had more time to calm down, I can actually make coherent, opinionated thoughts about this episode. And okay, basically Ozymandias, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out why that was the name of this episode. Ozymandias was almost everything that this series has been building up to. Every dreaded, horrifying, gut-wrenching moment was unleashed at a breakneck speed. I mean, thank God for commercial breaks, because I needed moments to breathe after seeing some of the scenes in this episode. I mean, wow. And to be honest, I shouldn't have thought this, and it was wrong of me to think of it back then knowing this show, but I gotta admit, I honestly did not believe this, not only this season, but this series could get any more intense than this season's Confessions episode. And it's the one that ends with that gloriously frustrating cliffhanger where Jesse is about to burn Walt's house to the ground. I honestly believed it couldn't get any more intense than that. And last night significantly proved me wrong. I mean, this was maybe the most intense, draining hour of television I have ever sat through. And it was just unbelievable. It really was. So, I want to give quick thoughts about it. Hank dying, oh man, that... And after last week, I've had a week to prepare myself for Hank's death, because it was inevitable. He was going to die. But I still felt the impact tremendously. And I love that Hank died with dignity and no compromises, and he told Uncle Jack to go fuck himself. And just had the best send-off he could have possibly had. And that was... that was just the tip of the insanely gut-wrenching iceberg that was this episode. I mean, oh my god. I mean, and of course Walt making the terrible mistake of telling Uncle Jack that he has $80 million buried underneath that site. But I understand why he did it, and it shows that Walt still has this measly sliver of humanity left in him, to where he would be willing to give up his entire fortune to save Hank's life, because that's the reason he got into this meth cooking business, to provide for his family. And that really, we see the real Walter White in that one stupid yet admirable moment. And the sad part is, it does not help at all. In fact, it makes it worse. Jack kills Hank anyway and steals most of Walt's money. But because of Todd, and I swear Todd is one of the creepiest motherfuckers on television right now, he gives him one barrel that has $11 million in it. And also, the irony, just the Shakespearean bitterness of Gomez and Hank being buried where Walt stored his cash. I mean, if that doesn't scream bitter irony, I don't know what does. And probably the biggest, most irredeemable thing about Walt right now is how he practically gives up Jesse to the neo-Nazi gang, specifically Todd. And to make it even worse, and this is a moment I have been talking about with friends and waiting for a long time. The moment when Walt would finally tell Jesse what really happened with Jane, the truth about Jane's death. And he came close in the Fly episode, but that was more out of regret and true sorrow. And the way Walt delivered his confession to Jesse in this episode was just out of pure spite. And it was the ugliest knife turn he could have possibly done to Jesse, who was already broken emotionally and physically. He just had to turn that knife even more to just because he hates Jesse's guts now. So that was a huge, cruel payoff that delivered all the goods. And also we get Walt Jr. finally finding out about what his dad really does, and he freaks the fuck out, which rightfully so. And how when Walt comes home to pack up to leave, that knife fight, oh my god, Walt and Skylar have had a really interesting relationship since she found out about what he really does. And this was just, Skylar had enough. Skylar has had enough. She grabs the knife and makes a stand, and Walt goes too far by trying to wrestle the knife, and I seriously thought either Skylar or Junior were going to be accidentally stabbed, and Junior finally turns on his dad and calls the police. He finally, after all these seasons of him calling Skylar a bitch and hating on her, he finally sees his dad for what he really is, a monster. His dad is a fucking monster, and he calls the cops on him. Walt has to flee, not before kidnapping Holly, which was beyond awful. It's one of those moments where you sit there, your eyes pop open, and your mouth drops, and you have to put your hand over your mouth because you are just witnessing something so unbelievable that it does not, that's the only reaction you can muster up. And poor Jesse, oh my god, he gets beaten to a pulp. He is broken physically, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, tied up like a dog and forced to cook meth with Todd. And if that's not bad enough, he has to do it, or else Andrea and Brock will most likely die at the hands of this neo-Nazi gang. So Jesse is a broken soul right now, more than he has ever been before in this entire series. And of course, one of the most near tearjerker moments in this, on television, in television history, the moment when Walt finally realizes that he has gone way too far is when he's changing Holly's diapers in that bathroom, and Holly, her first words are, "Mama," and she starts crying because she wants Skylar. And no words could do justice to the incredible amount of sorrow I felt during that moment. That almost made me cry. That was just so fucking sad. And also, when Walt calls Skylar, and Marie's face when she realizes that Hank is dead was unforgettable. I mean, that was just, again, true, sheer sorrow. Just, unbelievable. And on my first viewing of this, Walt's hateful tirade against Skylar convinced me that he had gone completely insane and that he was just full out Heisenberg right now and will never go back to being Walter White. But the more I thought about it, I realized that Walt saying those awful things to Skylar about threatening her, calling her a stupid bitch, it was the best thing he could have done. Because it gave Skylar an alibi. He did this seemingly insanely cruel thing for his family. And another sliver of humanity he has left is shown when he leaves Holly at the fire station for her to be taken back to Skylar. I mean, he realizes that he does not deserve a family. He needs to walk this road alone. And he realizes there's nothing left for him in New Mexico. So finally, he calls Saul's mysterious disappearing guy and leaves for good. Or seemingly so, which we know won't happen because it shows in the flash forward that he comes back to obtain the ricin from the house. And we still have a lot of questions to answer. We still need to know who has stripped the house, why it's all gated off, who spray painted Heisenberg in the house, why Walt retrieves the ricin, why Walt buys that assault rifle, and we still have 2 episodes to go. And to be honest, I am both incredibly excited and terrified of these final 2 episodes. I don't think I can handle another episode like last night's. I mean, that went almost overboard on how much I can handle in an hour. And I don't know how it could possibly get any more intense than this. I know I said that for Confessions, and I'm saying it here again, and I hope and I dread that I am wrong, because I want it to get more intense than this, because that's what a series finale is supposed to lead up to, the most intense shit. But I can't picture it getting any more intense than this. And we'll just see what happens at the end of Walt's journey 6 months later from last night's episode in New Hampshire. And the final note before I end my video is please give the young actress that plays Holly an Emmy. That was perfect, the way she said mama. I know it's a stretch to give an Emmy to a toddler, or a baby even, but, you know, for a very, very, very young actress, she did an amazing job with that one word. It was incredible. And this, Ozymandias, in my opinion, is the best Breaking Bad episode so far. But we still have 2 final episodes left before it could be replaced as my number 1 for this series. So anyway, thanks for listening. If you like what you see, subscribe. Have a good one.